It's gonna kill quiet birds. My birds are gonna chirp. Two. It's gonna kill two birds with one stone, as I reference the birds. Number one, I just watched a video by Completely Lovely, who I love her videos, by the way. I'm using the Invisible Toilet Instruction Manual in all my comment discussions now, and she's awesome. I love her. I love her voice. I can just listen to her talk forever. But I wanted to do a video in response to her, helping her out with her bettering the Bible, and also someone who's been commenting on some of my videos. I told him that maybe you should get his morality someplace other than the Bible. He can start with the Constitution. That's a good place to go look. And his comment to me was, the Constitution, are you kidding me? There must be better guidelines than that. There are no better guidelines than the Bible, no matter what. So I said, let's do the basics here. I just going to line them up side by side. We got the Ten Commandments versus the Bill of Rights. I figured that would be pretty cool because it's 10 versus 10. It's nice round numbers versus each other. I know there are more amendments than the first 10 of the Bill of Rights, and I know there's more commandments. I think there's like 619 things you're supposed to do to be a good Christian. But those seem to be the major ones. So let's say if we just took out the Ten Commandments and just gave them the Bill of Rights, that would be pretty cool. Switch it in, switch it out. All right, so let's talk about. Let's go through the Bill of Rights first. All right, since people seem to not know what those are. Okay, so the first 10, I'm not going to actually read them, although I have them up here on my computer. But I will. I will give you a synopsis of them. All right, so first Bill of Rights. Most important one, First Amendment, okay, establishes that there shall be no, that the government shall not establish any religion, allows people exercise free speech and assembly and freedom of press. Okay, that all comes in the First Amendment. Okay, so the government shall not establish no religion, free exercise of free speech, free assembly and press, all in the First Amendment. Pretty cool. All right. Two is to bear arms. Shut up, birds. Okay, is to bear arms. The right to bear arms or the right to protect yourself. Three says that soldiers cannot be in your home in peacetime. They can't just come and take over your home. All right, so, you know, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a good thing. You know, probably soldiers shouldn't just be taking over your house for no reason, unless it's, you know, war. Okay, number four, the Supreme Court can review the laws and make sure that they're constitutional. So the four gives say, hey, we have a body that should review any laws that come in to make sure that they abide by what we believe is constitutional or not constitutional. All right, so that's four. Number five, no one can be deprived of their right of life, liberty, or property without due process, and they cannot be tried for the same crime once they're acquitted of a crime, so no double jeopardy, and they cannot be forced to incriminate themselves. Okay, so number five is like the Miranda rights when the officers, if you ever got arrested, which I never have, but I've heard it many times, you have the right to remain silent, you have right to attorney, blah, blah, blah. All right, so life, liberty, property, due process, and no double jeopardy. We're doing pretty good here. Okay, so number six, right to a speedy trial and an impartial jury. All right, so they can't just put you in jail for extremely long time with no court date. Okay, number seven, judges cannot overrule a jury's decision. All right, so jury makes a decision, judge can't go, well, forget that, and let's go with what we say. Okay, number eight, no excessive bail or cruel and unusual punishment shall be used on people who are incarcerated. So, okay, so these sound pretty good. These are pretty good guidelines. Okay, number nine, the rights, the rights in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights go actually beyond the Constitution. So, so you can't use the Constitution to deny other rights that you might have. Basically, what they're saying in this one is, hey, we probably didn't. It's like when lawyers write, including but not limited to, okay, which means that, hey, these are your rights, but you also have other rights that we probably didn't think of. henceforth more amendments in the future as well. And number 10, anything not in the Constitution, anything that's not in the Constitution, basically the rights are given to the states or to the people themselves. Okay, so again, almost a kind of a repeat of number 9. So that's the 10 rights. That was pretty good. I mean, we got life, liberty, we got due process, we got bear arms, freedom of speech, all that stuff. Okay, so let's go to the 10 Commandments, okay? And I'm going to read them right out of Exodus Exodus 20, 2 through 17, okay? So let me start off here. It says, I am Lord, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. So first thing, do not have any gods before me. Okay, so that's most important to God. Do not have any gods before me. Now, that would kind of mean that there are other gods. I mean, that's God kind of admitting that there are other gods, but you know, anyway. So you shall not make yourself an idol, whether in the form of anything that is in heaven above, or that is the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Okay, water under the earth. Okay, so that's yeah. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing children for the iniquities of parents, to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who reject me. Well, that seems fair. I mean, if my great-grandfather did something wrong, I should definitely be punished for that. I mean, that's completely sensical. Okay. So anyway, but showing steadfast love to the 1000th generation for those who love me and keep my commandments. Okay, so how does that work, by the way? Like, what if like the 3rd generation does something bad, but I'm getting but you know the 1000 generations of the ones that are good. So which one overrules? What if like the 3rd generation is bad, and then the 2nd generation does good? Does the 3rd, do I still get counted as the getting punished for the 3rd generation, or does my parents being good wipe out what the grandparents? I don't know. Anyway, so so far we have no gods before me, not make yourself an idol, and you know, you're a jealous God, and I can't have any other idols, and I can't make myself. So these pretty moral. All right, so you shall not make wrongful use of the name of your Lord, for the Lord will not acquit anyone who misuses his name. Okay, so so no gods before you, don't make myself an idol, and you're going to be very jealous, and I should get punished for things, and I can't use your name wrong. Okay, so these seem like very moral and important things to get out in the first like 4 things. Okay, so maybe you got some more, maybe you got the good stuff coming down. All right, so number 6. Remember, or you know, what was it, number 6, number 5, number 4. Number 4. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. For 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but on the 7th day is the Sabbath, and to the Lord your God. You shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter or your male or female slave. Your male or female slave. Okay. Your livestock or any alien resident of your town. Okay. So, all right. So he's pretty adamant that we shouldn't work on the Sabbath. So that's very important to the 10 Commandments here. Okay. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and earth and the sea and all that is in them, but rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath and consecrated it. Okay, so anyway, so okay, got you, God. All right, no working on Sabbath. Okay, is Sabbath Sunday or Saturday? I don't know. It's Sabbath. I don't know. It doesn't say exactly. All right, so next up. Honor your father and your mother, so that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. Okay, so you got to honor mom and dad, which I guess could be a good thing unless your mom and dad are really bad people. I mean, if they beat you and, don't feed you properly and, and give you unwanted children, and maybe your dad left you and then comes back because whatever reason after 15 years, I guess you're supposed to still honor him. It doesn't. Okay. All right. Well, this is important. This is 10 Commandments. All right. All right. Here we go. Now we're getting some good ones. You shall not kill or murder. Okay. Okay. You shall not commit adultery. All right. You shall not steal. Okay. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. All right, so I guess that's lying. Okay, so you shouldn't lie. But these are all very, I mean, these are all like cut and it's not really, I mean, not kill, murder, I can understand, but, kill, what about in self-defense? I mean, you should be able to kill someone in self-defense. Committing adultery, I guess I can't really think of a way that could be good, but I don't, it's a choice. I mean, committing adultery is probably will hurt the person you're with, but I mean, if you don't want to be with that person anymore and you decide to leave, I mean, I guess you should just stay with them and be unhappy for the rest of your life. I mean, I guess you just divorce them first, but okay. Not steal. I got you there, God. Okay. Bear false witness, so you should never lie. Okay, so I guess, I mean, I can think of reasons that lying would be good. I mean, if somebody was running and was running from a gang and they ran into my house and I wanted to protect them, and they said that this person coming here and they had knives and sticks, and the person was obviously a good person, I said no. I guess that would, I mean, according to God, that's bad. So, all right, and the last one, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife or male or female slave. Again with the slaves, okay? Or ox or donkey or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Okay, so I can't like their wife, their ox, their slaves, or their donkeys. Okay, so don't covet anything that my neighbor has. So my neighbor gets a pool, I shouldn't want a pool because that's bad. Okay, if they get a really nice donkey, I can't want a donkey. Geez, my neighbor has like, honestly, I think my neighbor has like 6 or 7 slaves, and they're pretty strong. I mean, they get a lot of work done. I want to wish I had some of those, but I don't know. Okay, I can't do that. No coveting the slaves. All right, so I don't know if you get my point, but I think I can pretty much say, I don't know if the sarcasm is dripping, I think the Constitution wins. I think we could probably swap those out and find a more moral thing. But apparently the Constitution came from God too. Everything came from God. Although the first thing says, no laws should be established, no laws, or the government should not establish any kind of religion at all. So it kind of takes care of God. So there you go. Ways to improve the Bible.